Hello viewers, welcome back to the Multimedia channel. So in the last video, we have discussed a feature called playback control. So where we can control the playback speed of a particular video. We can either increase the speed or either you can slow the video. So like that you can double the speed or you can quadruple the speed. Same way you can decrease the speed of the video. So in the last video, end of the last video, I mentioned in the next video I will be discussing how to speed or slow video along with audio. But due to some technical reasons or other priorities, I couldn't complete that feature. I mean the additional feature, how to speed audio and video together. But rather we'll be discussing today on compression and speeding of audio along with video. I will be discussing that in the next week, in the next video. So now we will start with an interesting feature called compression. So a lot of times we do require to compress a video file to save it, or because of the lack of disk space, or for some obvious reasons we want to compress a particular video. If you want to share that file across emails, or if you want to put it in the cloud, or whatever the reason, you want to compress without losing the actual quality of the video. So that's a bit interesting actually. So usually during encoding itself, let's say if there is a video file, it is part of container. So during the packaging of the video itself, there is already some kind of compression applied by the encoders already there. So let's say if you take X264, X265 or any other encoding technique, they will compress the data and then they will encode it, and you need to decode that. So here the main focus is on the size of the file. Its compression means not how to reduce the overall file size, which might impact the file size in the process, in the sense like if you are encoding, if you tweak few parameters, we can ensure that the output, the final size is very less, and while decoding you need to ensure the same parameters are used. Okay, so this particular video I will show you how to compress a file by tweaking few of the parameters in the available for any video codec or in the terms of FFMPEG. So on that note, let's start. So before starting, so let's quickly recap a few terms like what is let's quickly recap few parameters which play a significant role in terms of compression. So just quickly to rewind, compression is the process of reducing the amount of data used to represent audio, video, images and text. So it's like if there is any audio data, video data or images, all those things. So typically any encoder compresses it, but what is the compression factor, how long we can compress, so rather than the original file without disturbing it quality. So one important factor is constant rate factor, which is also called as CRF. So CRF is a bitrate control setting factor that adjusts the rate factor to balance compression and quality. So it is like kind of a bitrate setting factor, such that if this particular value is given in such a way, it will balance the compression and the quality. So it means it compresses, it does more compression than usual. At the same time, it ensures the quality is also maintained. So the value ranges from 0 to 50, the CRF value, and if typically it lies between 18 to 28. Sometimes default value is 23. So higher the value means more compression, but sometimes you will note some quality will be degraded a bit. So you need to find a trade-off between the CRF, constant rate factor, such that it is doesn't degrade the quality. So typically 23 is a good value, but you can still use 18, you can use 28, and then I can see how the file size has been reduced. On the other hand, how the quality of the video is impacted. So all those things you can play around. And next coming one more important factor called a preset. It is one of the pre-configured settings that determine the trade-off between the encoding speed and file size. So slower preset means it's like enhancing the compression at cost of time, and Faster presets means increasing the encoding, but speed up the encoding but increase the file size. And the default value for preset is medium. So in other words, let's say there's if you set preset is slow, it means it takes time to it means it applies all the compressions on the particular file. It takes time to compress, and the final output is less size, but it takes more time to compress. But if you set preset to fast, it means it encodes it compresses very fast. It speeds up the encoding time, but at the same time the file size increase, because in the process of doing the compression fast, it doesn't apply all the compressional mechanisms. It will skip few frames. So that is the importance of this preset parameter. So by playing around with this preset factor, we can decrease the compression factor or increase the compression, and using the constant rate factor, either you can, by playing around with the value, lower the value, lower the compression, and more the quality. Higher the value of the CRF, higher compression, lower the quality. So you need to get a trade-off such that both quality and compression are good. Same with the preset, quality and compression should be good. So that is the basic norm for all the parameters. And also, if you see in the video series of video, one of the lecture or one of the video, we mentioned about what is max B frames, like predict bidirectional frames, and what is its importance in compressing a file. If more number of if more number of B frames are there, means it is that you are expecting less size. Less size means predictive frames are more and actual key frames are less. So which means that the file is more compressed, because the actual frames info is very less and predictive frames info is more. But on the downside, if there are more such frames, B frames, the decoding will be very tough actually. The encoding also should encode in such a way, depends upon the previous frame, current frame, next frame, and the decoding also becomes sometimes it's more complex. So but a typical value of 1, 3, or the default value is it's 3, I believe, the default value. So you can just use the play with the max B frames parameter, and you can see how the file size is being going up and down. So now there is also one more interesting factor called audio and video bit rates, which also determines the compression. For now we'll focus on the audio bit rate. See, bit rate is the number of bits used to represent a pixel or to represent any audio sample or video. For audio, one sample, how many bits it is represented, and for video, one particular pixel, in how many bits it is represented. So the bit rate is more, means each pixel or each frame is represented with large amount of data. Same time, the audio sample means more samples are there. So by tweaking with these audio and video bit rates, so we can also compress the file a bit. So these are the key parameters which plays a significant impact on the compression feature. So constant rate factor, preset, max bit rate, and audio and video bit rates. As I mentioned, how to tweak with the video bit rates, we will see it in the next video. But for now, we'll focus on how to tweak the audio bit rates. Okay. So next is, this slide we have been seeing this for in the last couple of videos also, but this time the change is like we have to prepare the video encoder and audio encoder properly using AV set options. So in other words, using the FFMPEG APIs, we can compress any particular video. For that, we need to initialize both input and output context. So the same pointers are used for input as well as output context, and we need to initialize these particular things properly. Later, you need to, after initializing, we need to ensure that the video encoder and audio encoder properly using AV set options. So using this particular API called set options. What are the options? That CRF options and preset values comes under this set options, and the bitrate and max B frames we will be using that inside the video encoder. So we will see how to set these particular parameters using FFMPEG APIs, under which blocks it comes. And you know, this is the typical, you read from the file and then you call these APIs, you get the packet, from the packet you get the frame from the packet, and then you send the frame, and then you receive the packet and you write it. So this is like a continuous while loop until this file reading is done. So now let's see the code behind this. So as I mentioned, so these are the key parameters. One second. I'm trying to zoom. Okay, control plus equal to, okay. Okay, so yeah, I hope this font is good enough. See, these are the 4 parameters. So this is our base class, and this is a derived class, and these are the 4 key parameters which are needed for this compression. And as I mentioned, we are just only overwriting the prepare video encoder and init metadata, but the actual compression file does all the operations like transcoding and audio transcoding video. But we just want to, here in this particular case, we just want to only override this particular function called prepare video encoder, and rest is taken by the base class. Okay. So way to override is very simple, it's bit straightforward. So here you can see, to the video encoder I am passing the input frame rate and video codec ID. So here I am telling that, okay, so AV option set. So here I am setting it. So I am passing from the command line preset type, and I am passing that, and I am setting this preset type. So it is set here in the init metadata. So whatever command lines are passed, whatever arguments passed in the command line, we parse it, we verify it, and finally we initialize that metadata to the local classes, to the parameters, the classes needed. The preset type is stored in this particular metadata info called preset type and CRF value and max B frames. So we have a lot of data inside the metadata, like what's the audio codec, video codec, and a lot of other informations are being stored in the metadata. For this particular function, we just need the values of these 3. So we set the preset type here. Once the preset type is set, so we will also set the CRF value that is passed here, and then later the max B frames I will also setting. If the max B frames is greater than 0, I'm just using whatever value that user has passed. If not, I'm just reusing the same value whatever it is there. Okay, I'm just using whatever the default value provided by this AV codec context. Okay, and I'm also using this apart from max B frames, preset value, and this we can also use audio bitrate. So audio bitrate I have not declared here, but we can directly reuse here. So let me go to MMS. Yeah. So let's go to this compression folder directly. Conversion, my bad. Yeah, here let's search, yeah, audio encode video. Yeah, here prepare video, prepare audio encoder. Yep. So here inside this function, so I'm setting the audio bitrate. So if audio bitrate is 0, I'm just using, if user is not passing any audio bitrate, I'm just taking the whatever the input audio bitrate is, and here I'm just passing that bitrate is equal to, if the user is passing, then I'm just using that bitrate here. So here this in the video, in preparing the audio encoder, I am passing this particular value bitrate, so which I have been initialized as a part of metadata itself, and here I am passing the value here, and then this is what I have been passed here, bitrate, and then yeah. So the audio bitrate is coming from the command line, and we parse it and we send it to the I think initialize metadata here. I'm just checking. Yeah, so in the part of this particular function, I'm initializing the metadata, whatever I got, audio spec bitrate, I'm just assigning it here, and the audio bitrate I'm using it here. So out of 4 compression, 3 compression parameters will be part of this, and the other compression factor, audio bitrate, which is already partially part of this particular file, I just used this here, and then you can just completely, because after you set all the parameters, we still need to encode. So that is the reason I have mentioned this here. So now let's so as I mentioned, so this is the key things: AV set options, and one more key thing is you mention the max B frames like this, and one more key thing is you set the audio bitrate, I mean like this, audio bitrate. So after setting these parameters, during encoding, these parameters plays a key role and more compression factors happen. So now let's run the code and then see. I have already built the code. So this is my application, and in the downloads folder, let me check. Okay, so I'm just removing everything here. If you go to here and then go to media suite, see, since it takes some time to compress all those things, for now I just took a small file which is sample.mp4. This original size is 5.42 MB. So now let's see how the file size reduces. You might not see significant decrease in size because of the file size itself is small, but let's at least see if at least some kind of things. So first I will say preset is equal to slow. I will put CRF is equal to, I will not use the other 2 parameters, bitrate and these things. So now let's see what happens. So you can see here the transporting happen, and it is very fast. I mean, so here the preset is slow, means to compress the frames it takes some time to achieve better compression, and CRF 18 is like okay, I want the constant bitrate factor is 18, such that quality is not degraded a bit. So now let's see what happens. So my conversion started. Yes, let me refresh. Yeah, currently the size is 1.57, it's close to 2. So let's keep going. I'm just refreshing. So the original size is 5.9, and currently we are compressing this particular video, the sample.mp4, and in the process we mentioned that we passed only 2 arguments. One is CRF value and the other is the bitrate, the preset value. So preset value we set slow, telling that okay, you take your time to compress, so that's why it is taking some time. And CRF value we mentioned 18, it tells that okay, compress whatever you can, but ensure that the quality is not distorted. So now the entire things has been done. So now let's see the size, the compression is size. So from 5.9 it has reduced to 4.33 MB. That's good actually, because yeah. So now let's play the video once. Okay, so it looks good actually, not that much. The quality is good. With the same quality we could able to reduce the file size to 30%. 5.9 to 4.3 now. So the key parameters are preset and CRF. So now let's see what happens. Let me clear the screen. If I put CRF value as 23, yeah, these commands is of our product. So I'm passing a function type is 11, which means you do compression, and it's the input file, and these are the other options. Okay, same thing you can give from the FFMPEG command line too. So now let's take CRF value 23. So we have given 18 and the size is 4.3. So now it is 23. So now let's see what's happening here. So if CRF value is 23, the preset is still slow. It means it takes some time to compress the all frames, but bottom line CRF value is 23 now. So during encoding, this particular factor is applied, and it can now we should able to achieve more compression, but the quality of the output may be bit not that good. But let's see what happens now. So yeah, let me refresh here. Yeah, let's keep going. Yeah, these are the particular things which plays a key role. I mean, currently we played with yeah, it's done. So now as you can see, it's fingers here after 23, it is 2.7, and if I keep decreasing the CRF value, I can achieve 1.3, 1.4 MB, even much lesser than that until the range. So now let's see the output. So it's also good, not that much. You can see here with the CRF value 23 also there is not much difference in the quality of the video. I mean, it's like more or less similar, but very minor differences are there, but the file size now is reduced a lot. You see how CRF value is playing a significant role now. Without not losing the quality, it is compressing with the help of that preset together. Okay, so now let's continue this. Now to this CRF 23, now try to add B frames. Okay, so I say max B frames, I give the value as 7. So now let's see. Okay, so here I am telling okay, let's do everything the same, just but so here it is 2.7 MB. Now maybe you might not see that much decrease in size compared to 2.7, but you still maybe here and bit little difference with it, because CRF, see, let's say if there are three important factors like CRF, max B frames, auto bit rate, and preset, but the priority is the CRF. So sometimes if you want to compress with the help of both CRF and max bit frames, that a logic might not work together, but however we'll see some difference. But yeah, so let's see what happens if what happens now. So it's crossed 2.49 MB now. Yeah, it's done. So you can see here, as I said, so it's almost the same, but very little difference came here. So it's 202706 KB and 2710, because I mean the CRF 23 itself means like internally it's adjusting a lot of things. I just modified at the higher level. So now let's play. It's good now. So now let's do one more last iteration. So now I will also add apart from this, I will say bitrate of one audio bitrate. Okay, CRF 23 and max B frames value 7 and hyphen B bitrate of audio as 64 kbps. Now let's see. Now the original bitrate is here, it is 160, I think it is close to 97 kbps. Now I given a value which is less than that, 64 kbps. So how to know the audio bitrate of the original file? I mean, we are actually printing that info in the top, but yeah, I will we can see that now. Now let's see what happens if you still reduce. So now you have given preset, you have given max B frames, and you have given constant rate factor, and now on top of that you have given audio rate. So let's see what happens now. So it's been decreasing. Now it is currently close to 1.6 MB. Interesting. Yeah, so the good thing is with these parameters we don't need specifically anything related to audio and video together. I mean, it's been taken care during the encoding process. So now let's see the final size. Yeah, as I mentioned, it's 2.295. It's still reduced. Yeah. So now, as let's play this. Yeah, even the audio is good actually. So what I meant to here, see, we have applied 4 different things. We have keep adding a lot of parameters in each iteration, and the size has been reduced to a significant, not significantly, at least this is just for the demo purpose I am showing, like, but when you take big size, all this big files, all these key parameters are, and we have mentioned four parameters: preset, max bframes, audio bitrate, and CRF. So you can give either only one at a time, or two at a time, three at a time, four at a time. But ensure this, if you're giving combinations of all this, the trade-off should happen just like that what we have given here. So we maintain a trade-off slow 23 bframe 7, so like that. Okay, so ensure you use the correct combination. And there is also one more factor which significantly improves the compression is video bitrate. But video bitrate, we need to understand a lot of things play around it. We need to ensure we do it in a proper way and clean way. So that's the reason we want to spend some more time on the video compression using video bitrate. So two videos you will be seeing in the coming weeks based on the priorities. Basically 3 videos. One is reversing the video length. If your file is playing from A to B, now you can come from B to A. And second is this fasting or slowing the video along with audio. And third is this compressing the file size using the video bitrate also. Okay, so it's a lot of interesting features will be developing, and few features will be enhancing in each iteration, and in some videos we'll be adding new feature altogether. So based on the priority on our times, like, we will definitely come up with much more interesting features in the next videos. So until then, keep watching our channel. For any queries, please do let us know. Reach to us on our blog and also comment section. Until then, take care. Bye bye. See you.